Hey, this is Scott from Junlander Requisites. I'm just doing a quick video for a customer. This is a OneReplicas SuperStunt Skinny Flex, which is a Last Jedi Force Awakens style Rey, more like a Daisy Ridley stunt saber, like the prop that she uses while they're filming. Which was low profile, had a low profile box, and the grips were different, and so OneReplicas just made that, which was really cool to have in the community. It's kind of a different take on it, on just like having as opposed to having like a normal accurate Graflex. Anyways, so the customer wanted kind of a mashup between Revenge of the Sith, Anakin, and Rey in the back. So, start at the top. You have the fake bunny ears. They're actually pretty realistic, but it's just a screw-on piece. 2 screws there. They're rusted out because they're iron, but they're fine. Just 2 screws hold it on, and then this band is actually just a solid piece. It's just part of the design. But it looks pretty cool. It has like the holes for between the ears and the little square on the top. And one little customization thing I did was this little area right here wasn't quite milled out. I think it was solid, so you only had this middle area to shine through. So I just took a little Dremel and took off the little corners there just to make it look a little bit more like an independent band that's sitting there. Anyways, I put a brass button on the front. It comes with a just like a machine faux glass eye, just aluminum, solid with it. So I just stuck this over it, and it actually fits pretty perfectly, if I do say so myself. And we have the custom Saber Shop Anakin pins. That is just a little rivet. It looks like a hex, a little tiny Allen screw on the Master Replica's LE prop, which I don't have. I was just looking at pictures, and in the pictures it looks like that is a hex. Anyways, it's just a little pop rivet. It's just one of these rivets that I stuck on there to emulate the Allen head, because I couldn't find one that actually fit in there. I didn't have one small enough, so I think that looks pretty good though. And for the button, we have a bronze, same thing as this, but bronze. And it's real metal and everything, so that's stuck on there good with milliput, so that's neither of those are going anywhere. Same thing with that rivet in the middle. Those aren't gonna fall off. Okay, and we have a KR Graflex blade plug, which I put NeoPixels into. We have, here's the low profile box, and I got the Anakin card from OneReplicas, which fits perfectly. Comes with a Rey. And for here, I had this textured Mylar from Custom Saber Shop just sitting in my drawer. I knew I wanted to use it for something, but I didn't really know what. I don't think I'm going to be doing a ranch Empire Strikes Back Graflex, so that's what has this. So I wasn't using it. Anyways, long story short, it works perfectly to emulate the Anakin actual knurling, diamond knurling. And like the Ranch Saber, I tried to make it fit perfectly on there. It looks like on the Ranch Saber, it looks like there's about 2.5 of the Graflex clamp lines showing. So I tried to make that match as pretty evenly as accurately as I could, which I think I did a pretty good job. Again, we have these grips, which are just aluminum black. Lots and lots of coats and TLC for that to come out nicely. But I think it has, and I treated it with WD-40, so it won't come off on your hands. It's not like just one application and then you leave it and then it'll chalkily come off on your hands. It won't do anything like that. Worst case scenario, like right here, you can kind of see on that corner, it's kind of starting to wear down, getting a little brownish instead of blue-black. But if you really want, you can get, they have aluminum black in little pens, little like paint pens, but the aluminum black chemical, which is awesome. So if you want to like just get one of those to do little touch-ups and do a tiny bit of research to see like exactly how to use it without getting it everywhere, because it's not exactly like paint. It's more like a chemical wash. Anyways, so that's not going to come off on your hands or anything, and it shouldn't come off on like rubbing on like an outfit if it's hanging on your belt or anything like that either. Anyways, so these are the rivets. I just happen to have them from my rivet gun, which was awesome, so that they fit in there. They're friction fit and E6000 in, so they're not going anywhere either. And this is the faux cobalt D-ring that it comes with, which is pretty cool. I put a spring steel, I had to make this myself. It's made out of a just keyring, but it's spring steel. Anyway, so it's strong and small. It's like smaller scale than a regular D-ring, just like the whole Saber, which I think fits in. But yeah, you can hang it nicely, and it shouldn't let go for anything. All right, so let's stick a blade in here and fire it up. Actually, let me show you the blade plug that I made first. I didn't make the whole thing, it's just a KR Graflex plug, like I said, but I just stuck a thick wall NeoPixel adapter on the end of it, and it works perfectly. So there's 6 LEDs, NeoPixels inside of it.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Couldn't resist. So there's that. And the customer wanted me to try and make he was saying that he's seen Sabers where with the blade plug in, when you do the blaster effects, it doesn't show up there, which is because there's a setting to decide how far away from either end of the strip you want the flash on clap or the blaster block deflex to appear. So I put that down to 0 for the front. So, and I think it's about 30 from the end. So it'll still try to put them further out than there are LEDs in the blade that's initialized. So sometimes you will see one of the 6 fire off, but it's only, the chances of that are only, what, 6 out of, 244, I think. 248. Anyways, so sometimes you'll see it.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
That's just one of the 4 boots. Just happened to do it twice. See, there was one. There's the crash. Lockup, that's what it's called, sorry. Okay, so to take the blade out, this is the retention screw. This whole button twists. And then, oh, it's already pushing it out because the NeoPixels. Try to do it carefully here. There we are. Sorry, trying to do it with one hand. There. So there's just custom Saber Shop adapter with some diffuser inside and the 6 LEDs. See, that's how far down the black part goes. So it's really blocking a lot of the light that's coming out. It's only coming out of the thick wall, but it's still bright enough. I'm not sure how you'd get around that other than shortening, you know, modifying the metal inside, but I didn't take that. I didn't modify that. I just popped it right out since the original blade material had a chip in it from me dropping it, but this one's nice and smooth. The camera won't focus, but it's nice and smooth edges. Anyways, that's a nifty holder there, right? Get the regular blade. Get this sticking. Okay, got the blade out. Blade in, rubber cap off, sorry about that. Blade in, push it in because there's the pogo pins. I'm gonna make sure there's pressure when you're, you know, make sure the blade is fully inserted, and then make sure this is twisted down pretty darn tight. For NeoPixels, they really don't like it when the connection gets moved or jostled at all. So sometimes if you don't tighten this down real tight, like almost gorilla, like the maximum of what finger tightness is, if you don't do it that tight, then it might reset, it might reinitialize, disconnect for a second. So anyways, I haven't had it happen, but just a warning for NeoPixels in general. But that is pretty much it. Trev, let me know if there's any problems ever, and I will fix them. We can talk about that. There really shouldn't be though. Hopefully there won't be. I hope you like it. I hope it finds its new home and is happy there. It was real fun to make. I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks. See you next time. So here's the blade. It's 32-inch with the custom Saber Shop hollow tip. It's all trans white thin wall.
You underestimate my power.
See, real nice illumination. The tip is really fully illuminated. Really nicely. The shine through, big area. Which looks great if you ask me. The shine through with the ears. The flash on clash, or the blaster deflect, is amber for most of these, I think. Most of the colors. With, I think, 50% color randomization variation for them. So they'll be pretty much amber colored, but also it's hard to see sometimes, depending on what color you have. On camera. In person, you can always tell, but on camera, when it's washed out a little bit, it's hard for it to differentiate. Anyways.
You underestimate my power.
There, you can kind of see along the ground, along the flowers there. Kind of. Anyways, so that is Shamim's Graflex 3. So this is Once's Rogue Vader, going chronologically. I put the fonts in. I like to do that. So we had Revenge of the Sith, and then now as Rogue One. The red looks awesome on new Pixel too. So that's fun. Next one is...
I'm not afraid. You will be. You will be.
So that is... I forget who made it. It might be Wansith again, but Dagobah. Which is for Crystal Focus 6, I think was the last time it was optimized. So it doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles, but it does have like a force sound and all that. 16 swings, 16 clashes. I like it a lot. Anyways, here's next sequentially. We skipped A New Hope, so this is Empire Strikes Back. So Dagobah.
Yoda. You seek Yoda.
Oops. Okay, red blade. So what do? We color change. Which is hard to do one hand. So that was orange, this is yellow. Lime 1. Lime 2, I think. Should be regular green. Actually, I'm not sure. Here's regular green again. Down to cyan. Sorry, I'm just trying to do it with one hand. With my legs here, it's kind of awkward. So there's sky blue, ice blue, and then down to regular just plain blue. And for this one, I made the auxiliary noises just the ambient animal noises that are on the font. Not really blast or deflects, so I turned off the deflect on the blade, so it'll just play the noise. So it's like you're training in Dagobah or something, and there's just stuff going around. Oh, actually, I lied. There is Flash and Flash here. Anyways, that's just a setting. You can change it if you want. Flash and block up. How do you say that? So next, chronologically,
Reset the chamber for Skywalker.
is ESB Legends, which is a fun Vader one. Like after Dagobah, still chronologically, right?
Obi-Wan is taught you well. You have controlled your fear.
I love that. There's the Vader quotes on the clashes.
Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did.
Okay, next. It's a longer boot, but I think it's pretty. I don't know. This is Project Font, is the name of the maker. His Force Awakens Last Jedi, the new trilogy Graflex, I think is what he called it. But this is a great font. He's only made a couple fonts, the maker, but Project Font does a great job. Anyways. Nice little race theme there. So this one has the faster, same retraction, but the faster ignition. Just for the thuddy, bassy ignition. Which I think is from Finn originally in Force Awakens when he turns it on. That really big thuddy one. Anyways, bassy. So this is sky blue, I think, which is appropriate for Rey, especially in The Last Jedi, when she's training. Made that a red flash on clash for like fighting Kylo. Port down when she does this one, like the walk up from the movie. Which is really cool, if you ask me. And another awesome feature of this, let me see if I can try to get the force effect to work. I am not good at doing it one-handed. Let me try to do it. Just to show. There. Anyways, my point is, it's the force effect noise is the Moz box scene. Anyways, next after that is Lord Blaico's Pitch Black, which is what the customer wanted. It's just a great font, which sounds good on this speaker. Which, by the way, is a Saber Essentials 28mm high bass speaker. I don't think I said that yet. Which sounds great, if you ask me. I haven't heard a WoW speaker yet, which is supposedly better, but I'm really impressed with the Saber Essentials speakers. Just like the highs and the lows, the treble and the bass. I think it does a great job. Anyways, this is a purple blade, just for fun. And there, it's amber-ish, like I said, but over purple. It doesn't show up well on camera, so you can see it in person, but it doesn't really show up too well there again either. But that's pretty much it. Oh, it has a custom Saber shop 15 amp high drain 18650 battery, wired inside of a Proplicator chassis, which is just nylon. And if you want to get that out, to access the card, all you do is take out your Allen wrench set and get that little guy and that little guy and take the clamp off like I'll show. And the recharge port is in there. There's two little steel screws that you pop off, which both go in down into the hilt to lock it in place. So you take the box off and the chassis can slide right out. And I've had it for a while. I've been taking it in and out, so it slides in pretty easily now. And you just kind of feed it in. You can just use your fingernail on the rim of the chassis, on the plastic, not on the speaker itself, of course. But you're gonna want to try to just push it in with the top of your fingernail. And if you need, you can get like a toothpick or something to go in from the screw holes and to position it perfectly. But you'll see the recharge port be perfectly in line with the hole, and it'll make sense to you.